Caleb, no kid ever dreams of, growing up and being a real estate agent. At least I don't think so. But, what made you jump into the career in the industry of real estate?
It's funny that you frame it like that because I come from a real estate family.
Oh, okay.
My folks were in
So
real
maybe you were
estate.
dreaming about it.
I mean, I don't know if I was dreaming of joining the family business.
You were
but
around it.
Yeah. It was just kind of a natural progression. I was in sales. I was in management. I worked at the corporate level with some training stuff, which I really enjoyed a lot. So just when I got to that point where it made sense to move to Arizona, be with the family, help them build a team, help them build a brokerage, the unique blend of experiences that I had really just went with that, and I got
Sure.
to do some of the stuff that I really enjoyed. When you're in retail and doing sales in the past, I always told people, like, it's not that big a deal if you're in sales as long as you're selling something people want.
Sure.
And not just something they need. And the cool thing about housing is it's both.
Yeah, right.
Right. So when you're helping somebody find their house, they're finding their sanctuary, their temple, like this place that they plan on raising their family or
Absolutely.
retiring or all these different things. So you're helping people not just purchase a property, but really achieve massive life goals, right?
Sure.
So that piece of it was really appealing to me.
That's awesome. That's great. Yeah. So you said you were living in Arizona at one point. What made you move back to the Chicagoland area?
Well, I'm actually from Michigan originally.
Okay.
I've been
All right. So
kind of
you're
all
used to
over.
the Midwest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a long time since I lived in the Midwest.
Sure.
My
I know
wife,
it's not the weather or the taxes that brought you here. But brought you
That's the
back.
truth.
Yeah.
Well, with the taxes, I sold real estate most of my career in Arizona, and people from Illinois would come out because I worked a lot with people who were buying a second home in some of those active adult communities, the Dale Webb communities, and they would look at the MLS sheet and they would go, "Oh gosh, $1,200 for taxes, is that a month?" We're like, "Nope, that's for the whole year." And
Yeah.
you could just literally see their brain
yeah.
explode. And so we obviously had our brain explode when we bought a house here. So
Sure.
the
Sure.
taxes
Yeah.
were the
Yeah.
difference.
On the flip side there,
Yep,
yeah.
but we've got
1,200 is
some-
what your home insurance runs.
Totally,
If you're lucky.
totally.
Yeah.
So we've got a 10-year-old. He's an only child. Being in Arizona, there's a lot of old people. No offense,
Yeah.
but raising a kid,
Sure.
he's kind of on his own in a lot of family events and stuff. So we had some family here. He's got cousins and stuff. So you can't really beat raising a kid in the Midwest,
Oh, yeah.
right? So
Absolutely.
there were a lot of really strong choices that we made. The schools are great here. It's just a wonderful place to raise a family. So
That's great.
that's what it boiled down to.
Yeah. Awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. Talking to a lot of clients over the last couple of years, crazy market that we've been dealing with here. Everyone's looking for the right time to buy, and I don't know if there really is ever a right time or the perfect time to buy. What's your suggestion as to, that buyer or seller even that's, on the fence?
What's important to you? Like what are the goals that you're trying to accomplish just generally in your life? It might be an investment. It might be, family purposes, might be a job. There's a lot of different reasons why people change their living situation. But at the end of the day, it's a living situation and not just a purchase of a property. And I think that especially with the way that we view real estate as an investment, you hear the media saying a lot of stuff about interest rates and down payments and all of that stuff. They get a little too focused on that instead of being able to really lean into the fact that this is going to change their life in some capacity.
Sure.
And so whatever that goal is, that's the most important piece. So the right time isn't even necessarily when things are up or down or in between.
Right.
At the end of the
Buy
day,
it low, selling high, right? Which
Totally.
everyone wants to do, but
yes.
yeah, nobody has the crystal ball.
Nobody has a crystal ball. I mean, the people that are in charge of that at the Fed level
Yeah.
don't have a crystal ball. They
Right,
don't know
right.
what's coming down
Yeah.
the pike. So
All
I mean,
speculation.
how are we supposed to know? And definitely, how's the public supposed to know? And that's
Sure.
where, at the end of the day, finding somebody who can help you really identify what your larger goals are and go through that part of the process. That's what's important.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. And I've had a lot of conversations with clients over the last year or two that, are either waiting on the fence, for interest rates to come down or home prices to come down. And again, as you mentioned, nobody knows when that's going to be exactly.